Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. I mean, this book is so much more than just a novel, right? It's a true global phenomenon. And at its heart, it's really a beautiful allegorical tale that kind of serves as a philosophical guide to finding our own place in the universe. So let's break down this incredible story and see what timeless lessons it might hold for us. But before we really dive in, I want to start with the big question that the book forces all of us to ask ourselves. What is your life's purpose? Seriously, take a second. It's the central question that drives this entire story, and maybe our own lives too.
So, our journey begins, not with some powerful king or a legendary warrior, but with a really humble shepherd boy. This is Santiago. He's a young man from the rolling hills of Andalusia in Spain, and he made a choice. He chose the freedom of wandering with his sheep over the safe, predictable life his parents wanted for him.
Now, Santiago's grand adventure doesn't kick off with a map or a royal decree. Nope, it starts with something way more personal, something persistent, a mysterious dream that he just can't seem to shake. Imagine this. Night after night, Santiago has the exact same dream. It's this vivid promise of a hidden treasure buried way over at the foot of the Egyptian pyramids. For him, this dream is the classic call to adventure, you know? It's the little spark that's about to ignite a massive quest across continents. But here's the thing. Santiago's quest for actual gold is really just a metaphor. It's a journey towards something much, much deeper. He's actually seeking what the book calls his personal legend, and this idea is the absolute heart of the whole philosophy. So, okay, what exactly is a personal legend? Well, think of it as your true purpose. It's not just a goal, but your unique, ultimate calling in life, the one thing you were put on this earth to do. The book suggests that when we're kids, we all know exactly what our personal legend is, but then life happens. This mysterious force, which is really just fear, doubt, and social pressure, comes along and convinces us it's impossible. And this is the crucial part. The book says our deepest desires aren't just random whims. As this famous quote puts it, they actually originate in the soul of the universe. Your dream is literally the universe's dream for you. I mean, talk about a total reframing of ambition. So, if your dream is part of some grand cosmic plan, that means you're not going it alone. And this brings us to probably the most famous idea from the whole book, that the universe itself will conspire to help you, leaving this trail of clues for you to follow. This map you're meant to follow, it's not made of paper and ink. The book calls it the language of the world, which is basically a series of signs and omens that guide you along your path. So the real key isn't just having the courage to chase your dream. It's having the wisdom to pay attention to the signs. Okay, so this is how all these big mystical ideas actually fit together. You've got your personal legend. That's the goal. Then there's the soul of the world, which is like this spiritual energy connecting everything. That's how the universe can help you. The language of the world is what it uses to communicate, through omens. And finally, maktub, which means it is written, is all about trusting that some things are just part of a grander design. It all just works. And we see these signs pop up all through Santiago's journey. It starts with that recurring dream, right? Then a mysterious king of Salem shows up to validate it. The king gives him 2 stones to help him read the signs. Later on, the way 2 hawks are flying warns him of an attack. And at the very end, it's a simple scarab beetle that points him to the exact spot where the treasure is. See? The universe is constantly talking, if we just learn how to listen. But let's be real here. The path to your personal legend is never a straight line. It's not supposed to be easy. The universe might guide you, sure, but it's also going to test you. The journey is absolutely filled with obstacles. Some external, but more importantly, a lot of them are internal. According to the alchemist himself, the single greatest obstacle we face is our own fear. It's not the treacherous deserts or the thieves along the way. Nope. It's that little voice inside our own heads telling us we're not good enough, that we don't deserve it, or that we'll fail. Santiago meets a perfect kind of tragic example of this in The Crystal Merchant. This guy has a lifelong dream, his personal legend, to make a pilgrimage to Mecca. But he never goes. And why? He's terrified that if he actually achieves his dream, he'll have nothing left to live for. His fear of what comes after has totally paralyzed him. And right here, we see the fundamental choice the book lays out for us. You've got Santiago on one side, who chooses action, faith, and courage, even when it's incredibly risky. And on the other side, you have the Crystal Merchant, who chooses stagnation, regret, and the safety of his comfort zone. It's a choice between moving forward or staying put. And it's not just fear. There are so many other traps. Social expectations pushing us toward a sensible life.
getting attached to material things, the huge temptation to just settle for what's comfortable. Even love can feel like an obstacle. But the book makes a beautiful point. True love will never ask you to give up on your personal legend. It will support it.
So, after facing all these challenges, after crossing an entire desert and learning to speak the language of the world, Santiago finally makes it to the pyramids. And this is where the story delivers its most powerful and profound lesson.
Okay, get ready for the twist. The physical treasure, the chest of gold coins, it was never at the pyramids. The whole time, it was buried right back where he started, in the ruins of that old church in Spain where he and his sheep used to sleep. Mind-blowing,
Right? So you might be thinking, well, was the whole journey a waste of time then? And the answer is absolutely not. Santiago realizes the omens led him on that huge adventure for a reason. He had to take the journey to be transformed. He learned everything he needed to know, not just about the world, but about himself.
And that, right there, is the core message. The pursuit of your personal legend, it was never about the destination. The real prize is the person you become along the way. The treasure is the wisdom, the self-knowledge, the growth, and that connection to the soul of the world that you can only gain by having the courage to follow your own path.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. We often get so hyper-focused on our goals, right? On getting to the finish line. But what if the journey itself, with all of its ups and downs, its lessons, its challenges, and its transformations, what if that is the real treasure we've been looking for all along?